Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. So, I was trying to decide what video I wanted to make next on the channel. I had already recorded and edited the past two videos that you've seen on my channel, linked in the description. I was trying to decide like what I wanted to make next, as I had already made and recorded and I edited the previous two videos that you saw go up on this channel, and I did it before Christmas, and I've just kind of taken a little bit of a break before, you know, my schedule gets a little more busy. So I was throwing out a few ideas. I threw them all out. So maybe you're asking yourself right now, so Gage, what have you been doing? Well, this happened. Yeah, so this past Christmas I received a copy of Pokémon Violet for the Switch, and I'm gonna put this so y'all can watch it. You know, just have it nicely displayed there. I don't know how much in or out of camera shot that'll be. There it is. So I'm just gonna talk about it. That thing right there. Y'all see it? We're talking about it right now. We're gonna talk about just some of my thoughts about the game, what my experiences of it, how far I am, what I've been doing in it. Consider this kind of like not a review so much, more so like an impressions. This isn't scripted in any way. This is just me sitting in front of my camera at an ungodly hour and just talking about a game I've been playing a lot. So yeah, I guess starting out, to address the elephant in the room, this game it runs really bad. So yeah, like on Switch, now the Switch isn't the most powerful console in the world, but there's examples of pretty big games on it that look great and they run great. Unfortunately, this is not one of them. This one just doesn't look super great all the time, but it definitely doesn't run very well. Constantly you'll have, you know, the frame rates drop, and it'll even like go in slow motion in certain areas. I found that whenever you go into the bamboo forest, or you were on the water, like you were in the ocean and there's a bunch of Pokemon spawning around you, it's slow motion. It's like a slideshow. It's not very good. But anyways, I just wanted to address that. I just want to say it. I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Let me focus on other things now. Let's do that. So as far as other things, I chose my starter. I chose Fuecoco, and I had decided that the moment I saw him and what his name was, because it's Fuego and it's crocodile, and Fuego means fire. So I was like, interesting. Well, Fuego. I was like, Takis. I was like, Fuego Takis. I was like, so I named him Taki. And yeah, the game is a lot of fun. It did start out, it does not make the best first impression. Once you get to a certain point where everything just kind of opens up and you can just go wherever you want, do whatever you want, that's where it gets pretty fire. And that was awesome. That was really cool. You know, and I think that's kind of the general consensus around these games, is that the performance is awful horrible, and it's actually embarrassing for Nintendo and the Pokemon Company to have put this out. But at the same time, the game is just at its core fun. Surprising. But seriously, like the game, yeah, it's Pokemon. You know, it's a Pokemon game. You play Pokemon, I play Pokemon. We all know what Pokemon is. And so yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. My only gripe with it, as far as like the core formula that like I think needs to change, is the pacing. Oh my gosh, it drives me mad. You'll be like, you know, getting into multiple battles at a time. If you're not passive battling with the Let's Go feature, which is also pretty cool, where you like send them out and then Pokemon like run around and like fight things without your input. That's pretty cool. I like that. But it's when you get into a battle and like you're the one, you know, picking moves and going through the menus and stuff, it's so slow. It's awful. There's so much text. There's so many text boxes just saying everything. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, like just literally let the visuals tell me what I need to know. In other games and other RPGs like this, they will usually either no text, and you just attack, and the attack says everything you need to know. But then the other part, the other kind, is there'll be text, but it's not like, it's not like text and then attack. Like pause. It's text while the attack's going. It just needs to be sped up. I don't care how they do it. Just please speed up the text in some way. Speed up the battles. That's like honestly probably the worst part of the game. Outside of the performance and everything, it just how it's designed, it would probably be that. Not very happy about it. But outside of that, of course, my favorite aspect to these games, my favorite aspect to them is the collecting. I always really like just going into a new generation and collecting all of those Pokemon from that generation or that region. And that's why this might be a hot take, but I actually personally don't really mind that the National Dex is gone. I really don't, because in my mind I'm like, it kind of makes sense on multiple levels, both in universe as far as not every creature is going to live in every place. Just that's not how the real world works, and it just doesn't make sense for the Pokemon world to work like that either. So personally, I'm fine with that. It also makes collecting, catching them all actually possible, and I'm fine with that. I actually don't mind that at all for that reason, and I think it's a lot of fun to go around and collect. Me and my brother. So my brother, he got Scarlet, so we've been playing them together, which has been a lot of fun. I mean, we've been doing like the local play, trading and battling, and one of the coolest features, I have to gush about this, one of the coolest features in this game is that you finally, for the first time, you can actually like play the game together with your friends or with other people. I think that's so cool. So this is some nostalgia here. I grew up on Pokemon Black and White. Those were like my first Pokemon games I really got into, because technically I played Coliseum as a kid. I was really little. It was more so something my older brother played. I liked that. I thought it was really, really awesome. But technically it is a spin-off. Then I played Pokemon Pearl, and I just did not get into that one very much. It was just too difficult for me at the time. I was just a little kid, and with hindsight, I think it's the worst generation, to be honest with you. But anyways, then I played Gen 1. And then Black and White. Black and White is my favorite one. And I bring that up because in Black and White, you could actually do something similar. I don't remember, it's been a long time, I don't remember exactly how it works, but you could essentially like invade another player's game, or like your friends, you could join them, and you could like do certain like tests or something, like achievements, and by doing them, the player joining the other game would turn into a different sprite. So they would be like a different human character or even a Pokemon in the actual world. And I was like, man, that's such a cool idea. We literally didn't do the objectives. Most of the time we would just play around you would run onto the route and then just sit there and hide in plain sight. And then we'd play hide and seek and see if you could, tell what was different. Because, other trainers in the game would have their, little pixelated Pokemon walking around, and you could, hide yourself there. But anyways, that's just a personal thing for me. But yeah, it's really, really cool that you can finally just like, hey, load it up, play together, and you just run around and catch Pokemon together. Like, that's just so cool. So, where am I at currently with the game? I finished the Pokedex. I have my full team. So, of course, I got the Shiny Charm. I got 3 Shinies. I got 3 of them. I found a wild young goose just running around. That was so cool. Literally, it was so hype. I wish I could have like had that recorded, because it was just like such a cool moment for me, because like I never find shinies. So that was my first one, and then I started shiny hunting for a Magneton at an outbreak, and I was there for probably like an hour, and eventually I found one. And then I was hunting for a Drifloon. It became daytime, so I flew over to the bamboo forest. I had the sandwich that increased your flying encounter rate, and there's a bunch of Scythers everywhere. And I grew up watching the Generation 1 show, and Scyther was just always one of the coolest Pokemon to me. His design is just epic. And I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I don't like Scizor. Scizor, his design and everything, he's fine. He's pretty cool, right? But I hate him because he's Scyther's evolution. Because, like, now he's always tied to Scyther. And if you want to have the strongest version of a Scyther, you're going to want to get evolved into Scizor. And I'm like, I don't want Scizor. I think Scyther looks cooler. So that's, again, a me thing. But I was like, hey, there's so many Scythers. Why don't I just catch a shiny? So I hung out there for, again, probably like an hour, hour and a half. And sure enough, I found it. And it looks like the same. It has like a pink under. But anyways. It's a bad game. But there's a lot of fun to be had in it. If you can, push through some of the performance things, hoping that they fix it later, then yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd say this is like simultaneously the worst Pokemon game and the best Pokemon game. Which is weird and sad because this is literally the highest grossing media franchise of all time. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about all I wanted to talk about in this video. Like I said, this is just kind of an off the cuff, back of my hand video to record and put up on the internet for y'all to watch. But yeah, leave in the comments down below what you think about the new generation of Pokemon games, Scarlet or Violet. Which one did you choose? And what do you think of the game? Maybe give like a 1 out of 10 score. That'd be pretty cool, right? Yeah, with all that out of the way, don't forget to engage that subscribe button, and I'll catch y'all in another video. God bless.